All right, no. So ChroNoSo rolls on. Your best ChroNoSo buddies here, JT and Keithy. Keithy, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Not too bad, my friend. Not too bad. And this is an exciting time in the ChroNoSo lineage here. We're in the spring, summer of 1989. It's one of the best years in company history. Coming off WrestleMania 5, we've got some change going on. It's a lot of great matches happening over this stretch of time. A lot of great angle stuff going on. And one of those angles are what you and I have been tasked with to cover tonight, my friend.
I am very disappointed by this. As you may or may not be well aware, I am a huge King Haku mark, and the fact that I have to now once again suffer through this indignation of watching this matchup and Coronation, I am very upset by this. But I will try to go through this, and I will try to trudge through.
Well, just think of this:
unhappy
him losing
time
the
in my
crown
life
allows him to propel to be tag team champions with Andre the Giant later
that
in
is
the year. You know?
That is true. Yes, that is true. We ended up with the Colossal Connection, but we could have had the royalty instead, or the royal family, and it would have been King Haku and I don't know, maybe the Earl of Sandwich, Andre the Giant. You never know.
May he just reprise his role for Princess Bride.
Exactly. Hello down there.
All right, so if you didn't piece it together, what we're watching here together is Hacksaw Jim Duggan versus Haku for the crown. Do you have the date on this? I meant to pull it up here.
Oh God, what is the date on this? I want to say it is. I don't know what day it's on. I don't know what day it actually changed hands. That's crazy. It's October. It's 1989.
May 13th, 89 Superstar.
May 13th. Yes.
Looks like. So that's the match. All right, so that's where we're at. We're gonna go ahead and get this started. And then after we do the match, we're gonna do the coronation as well. So that'll be fun.
Another dagger in the heart. Okay.
All right. Here he comes, Hacksaw.
Hacksaw, no music. No music.
No music.
He hasn't inherited Big John Studd's theme yet.
When's that coming? End of 89, 90? Early 90?
Did it come in? Yeah, I actually think he took it right after. I think he got it right after
Mania 6, maybe?
Yeah, no, I thought maybe right after he lost the crown.
I'm thinking about it. I don't think he has it at Mania 6. It might be after that.
Does he have it at...
If you've ever seen text behind somebody just like this, it's actually not hard, especially using Adobe Express. So let me show you how to do it.
If you know how to use Adobe Express.
It's not that hard. Skip that out. I got a pony up for the premium.
Yeah, you have to. I keep telling Pete that.
Yeah. I looked at it the other day.
Duggan here getting chewed out by Jesse Ventura. He's saying he's a veteran and he should be,
That old lady with the Duggan thumb in the crowd was awesome right there.
Yeah.
So Haku had been king since when did he get crowned? Summer of 88?
Yes, because he takes over as soon as Harley Race leaves.
Right.
And then he solidifies his kingship with defeating Harley Race at the Rumble 89 and that banger 5-star matchup. In all honesty, the two hosses going at it,
beating the shit out of each other. So yeah, he's been king for almost a year here. It was an interesting choice. I know you're a fan of him, but I would say it's an interesting choice to go with him as someone that's not like exactly known for personality. Generally, when they have the crown with someone, it's someone that can really play it up from a personality standpoint.
That is
but
true,
I do think it gave him something to have a hook coming off the Islanders. So I think it was a fine idea. Added a little bit of extra something to the Heenan family as well to have the king in the stable.
Correct. I mean, he also, don't forget, he faced Hogan on a Saturday Night's Main Event. He challenged Savage for the world title at the Spectrum in December. So it kind of elevated him as far as in the echelon of heels.
Right.
Which I think Haku has always been Haku, and then of course once he goes to WCW and becomes Meng, he's a great top tier fit in anytime challenger for a championship because he's just that kind of a tough guy.
Yeah.
So
do you like Duggan as the choice, as the heir to the throne because you needed a face to transition? We know where it heads later in the year, right? They give it to Savage to kind of keep him busy, and Savage is super memorable and awesome as king with Queen Sherry. I know folks, some think of it as like a downgrade for Savage to go to that, but I think he owned it and it was awesome and it was a good way to keep him busy when he wasn't going to be in the world title picture.
Exactly.
Was Duggan the best choice for like an interim king here?
I think so. As far as because I mean, you're not going to do, if you look at some of the other faces at the time. Piper had just come back. You're not going to give it to Piper. Piper doesn't need it. You're not going to give it to Beefcake. I mean, who else are you going to give it to? Ronnie Garvin. I mean, let's be honest.
Snuka was one that kind of popped in my head, but I don't know.
Nah, because you know what? Because you know what the thing is that even though Haku isn't as flashy as like Savage was, or even Harley Race, he still kind of was a good character with it being the king. And you go from like one decent character to a phenomenal character in Jim Duggan. I mean, there's one thing you could say about Jim Duggan is he's an incredible character for this time period in wrestling. I mean, he's basically your everyman, Duke the Dumpster Drosy almost, where he's just, he's got that everyman gimmick.
Yeah, and another guy maybe be Tito coming off Strike Force, but that would have been weird. I think Duggan as King makes sense. It's when did the movie King Ralph come out? Wasn't it around this time? Like I think so. It's kind of the same concept, right? It's like you're saying, like the everyman suddenly finds his way into royalty.
King Ralph, good
King
Lord, that's a great movie. John Goodman, a very underappreciated movie.
Yeah, it's good.
But I think Duggan makes sense. Plus, Duggan carries that crown phenomenally. Right. I mean, just alone, I know we should try to steal the SummerSlam '89 match so that we can talk about his face paint when he comes out with Demolition. But I mean, even that is just fantastic. I mean, he wraps the flag over the 2x4 and then puts the little crown on top. I mean, Duggan was a great character in this time period. Even the match he loses the crown to against Savage is great.
Yeah, that's well done. It's Sherry kicking this, basically helping him win the whole thing.
I actually love Duggan, believe it or not. I've always been a fan of Duggan, even up to now. I know he doesn't wrestle anymore, but I mean, I love Duggan. I think he was a great guy to, when Coco Beware got in the Hall of Fame, a lot of people were like, why Coco? And then the answer is because he was the first guy out the gorilla position every single card, and he got the crowd going, and he was hot.
Yeah, he did his job, and he was. Yeah,
Duggan's
I
the
never had
exact same
beef with
guy.
that.
Neither did I.
It's a construct of Hall of Fame. WWE Hall of Fame to me is like who did their work within WWE to the best of the capability, or eventually the world of wrestling, right? So it's not just it has to be like the greatest of all time. It's the greatest in each slot, right? So
Coco's like that, Duggan's like that. I mean, Jesus, even Honky Tonk Man's like that. They did their job successfully enough that they were memorable, and I think Duggan's the kind of guy that's very memorable.
Yeah, Coco's more memorable than a lot of guys that are better workers per se, but are forgettable because they didn't stand out.
Coco's more memorable than Tito, and Tito's leaps and bounds above as a worker, But
the King Ralph was 91, by the way. So Duggan predates King Ralph.
Well, I'm sure that John Goodman took all of his shots from From
so this match is like essentially, he's already Duggan wins right now. We're talking under 5 minutes ish. Haku got a little bit of offense, but Duggan really just cuts through him.
Well, Duggan, for some bizarre reason, Haku goes for like I don't know what it was, like a flippy. It was almost like, what was RVD's move that he used to do, the Rolling Thunder?
Yeah.
He goes for like a Rolling Thunder. I've never seen Haku do that before or since, and he goes and he does that.
He tries to steal the cape and crown here.
Not willing to give it up.
I always like to touch too Bobby when he's with Haku. He wore the purple jacket, the royal purple.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was a cool touch. I think Duggan's as good a choice as anyone. I mean, you get the everyman. You need someone who's kind of cartoonish to wear the big crown and the cape, and it's only a few months, so it's not like it's a long-term thing anyway. So,
and the cool thing is that he literally is wearing the same exact crown and cape, and then it gave Jesse all the opportunities to goof on the smell of the cape and the crown. Duggan never washed it.
Royalty, It's perfect talking point. Bobby's so pissed off. This is obviously we're watching the primetime version.
Bobby is pissed.
He's not happy. I'm sure Gorilla's laying it in to him here. But here we go. We're going to fast forward to the coronation now. So the Haku coronation was awesome, of course, because you had all the heels. You had all the heels out there with Haku. It's a wonderful look to everything, which is really cool. But the Duggan one, we'll see the flip, right? We're going to see all the faces. And I think it's cool, again, that they did this. It's another little extra boost to the character, to the presentation of it, to make it feel important. I'm assuming this is probably the next week.
Yeah. However, I think humorously enough, there's definitely a few people in the ring that were in the ring with the previous coronation, like Demolition. I think Demolition's here, and Demolition was definitely in the ring when Haku was coronated. Yes. And then I want to even say like maybe even the Heart Foundation as well.
Yeah, they might have been. This is 5/20, so yeah, it's the next week. I'm sure it was all taped the same night, obviously.
Yeah.
So you got Coco, you got the Bushwhackers, you got Big John Studd is out there, the Hearts.
Yep. I like this backstage where we cut backstage. You got Haku, Andre, and Heenan, a proto connection here, and it just seems like Haku's he's been really stewing about this for the last week.
Andre's pissed too. He's like almost crying.
Andre's the voice of reason, though. He gives like, we have a plan, and that plan will work.
So Beefcake, Tito, does that do we catch everyone pretty much?
Oh yeah,
I'm sure the Roosters, Tito, the Rooster out there. Blazer,
Blazer, Hillbilly Jim, one of the favorites here, and of course Mean Gene Okerlund.
Yeah, so he's gonna read the scroll. Look at him with the tongue, like it's perfect. It's perfect presentation of it.
They put the out, like a flob. He does the Hawkeye at one point. He's like, like a perfect job. The Bushwhackers. I mean, come on, Hercules.
He's kind of like the man at arms here. He seems to be the closest right hand man.
I looked here. It was Beefcake. Beefcake's holding the 2x4. Stud's holding the crown. I believe Chico has the.
Who's that guy in the white jacket? Is that Tim Horner?
It is Tim Horner.
White Lightning.
Yeah, and notably though, you have to note Bret Hart's holding the American flag. So Bret's showing early on his allegiance towards his American roots there. So
looks like that's Roma in there too.
Yep, and Jim Powers. You got the Young Stallions.
Were they still the Stallions? When did they break up? Is it around here? I thought they were already done.
I think it's around here. I don't know if they were already. Well, I know it's not long after this that I think Jim Powers is teaming with jobbers on Superstars and Wrestling Challenge. But look at how happy he is. I like too. It looks like he just walked out of the shower.
I know, stomping out.
He's all sweaty. Oh, they got to put that gross, sweaty, sweat-covered velvet robe on him now.
You know they never washed that thing for the year that Haku had it. And Harley.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And that's a rib on whoever was going to wear it next.
And this is good. They kept it pretty short too. Like you don't need to drag this thing out. Just read the scroll, put the shit on them. Did you expect anyone to come out here and interfere, or do you like that they kept it pretty straightforward?
I like that they kept it pretty straightforward and they just gave him his moment. I mean, doing the little backstage segment with Andre and Haku and Heenan, that's perfect. You didn't need it. I mean, if somebody had come out, it's either that's Attitude Era or WCW, and we didn't need that. This was perfectly fine.
Yeah, and then I mean, Duggan doesn't really. I guess we'll cover it on ChroNoSo here. He doesn't really have too much of a feud going on until the Savage stuff fires up. He kind of, I guess, he's still involved with the Heenan family a bit over the summer with Andre, but for the most part, he's not involved in too much from here.
Yeah, no, I think he has some return matches, I think, with Haku, and then mostly he starts teaming with Stud and then Hillbilly Jim against Haku and Andre. Right, and then he goes right into the feud with Savage like after SummerSlam.
Look how proud he is. Big smile.
Hey, this is probably Duggan's biggest accomplishment up until he wins he takes the TV title out of the trash, or
well, he wins the US title and WCW beats Austin.
Oh, that's right. He does beat Austin.
Yeah, this is probably before then. There you go. They're going to carry him out. Is he went to ride the sedan? I feel like he doesn't really ride it after this, like to the ring or anything as King.
I don't think he does either. I think he's too happy to come out and just be waving the flag and
put the sedan away till Savage. So.
I mean, this is literally the common man before our actual common man shows up. So
correct. So all right, well, we're going to put this whole thing away for now. So be sure to check out the rest of this ChroNoSo. We're going to continue to head through the rest here of 1989, the summer of 89, heading into SummerSlam. A lot of great stuff coming up for sure. Big thanks to Ryan to kind of piecing together the pieces between the big events to hit on Saturday Night events and Superstars and stuff like this. So it's a really cool project. Be sure to check out the rest of it. Subscribe to North-South Connection here on YouTube. Of course, if you're watching us here, this has been simulcast on both the audio portion of ChroNoSo and the video. We have a lot of cool video content in WrestleMania season that's been going on. We're counting down every WrestleMania match ever on TikTok and YouTube Shorts. Myself and Ryan, we have WrestleMania Countdown going on. We have a tier list going on. So just check everything out, as well as everything else going on across the North-South Connection, all the regular programming and the specials as well. That's Keithy. I'm JT. We're out. Talk to you soon.
Bye.
You've been crowned.